Hello there. Welcome to a presentation on 5E lesson plan. This lesson plan is based on a theory of constructivism by Levi Vygotsky. Presenting the lesson, I'm Itmin Kennedy. Introduction. Constructivism theory says that learning occurs when a person who is a learner is able to reconcile their previous knowledge and experience with the new ideas that the teacher wants to teach. Therefore, the first time constructivist theory came in form of teaching, it was used as an investigative method of conducting experiments. So it outlined 5 stages on how an experiment should be conducted. The first phase or stage is engage, and we have explore, explain, elaborate or synthesis. The last stage is evaluation. So for learning to take place successfully, a teacher should be able to first engage the learners, allow them to explore, explain, elaborate, and finally evaluate their understanding. At engage stage, the teacher's role is to activate previous knowledge of the child, to spark curiosity and interest, to set stage for new learning. How do we do that? One, we need to have engaging materials. For instance, we can have a hook video, a real-world problem or question or scenario, and this scenario should be familiar to the child whom we are teaching. We can also start engagement stage with a short game. Example, picture a pizza with 18 slices. If you want to share it equally among 3 people, how many slices will each person get? In this scenario, we are trying to revive the idea of sharing and dividing in pupils, which they already know. So they can do this activity maybe using physical objects, 18 objects, which cannot be like physically slices of bread or pizza, but maybe using sweets or sticks or whatever, bottle tops, which are 18. Then they share amongst 3 people and then give the teacher the answer. The second guiding question, what can you conclude about the number 18 and 3? Here we want the children, after dividing the slices of pizza among 3 people, we want them to understand that 3 can go into 18 without leaving what? A remainder. The next guiding question, suppose we had 5 people, would they have shared 18 slices equally? Give a reason for your answer. Here again, we want them to discover, to say there are numbers which cannot go into 18 evenly. Those numbers would leave what? A remainder. Next, explore stage. At the explore stage, the teacher should help pupils to connect their previous experiences to the new concept to be taught. A teacher should give cooperative learning task, hands-on activity. The teacher, after giving the cooperative learning task, should circulate around the room, asking guiding questions and guiding the learning or the exploration of the pupils. That is the role of the teacher at this stage. For instance, we can have an example like find all the numbers that divide evenly in 12 and what? 18. Next guiding question, which is the biggest number that divide evenly in both 12 and 18? What name can you give this number? First, we ask the learners to find all the numbers which go in 12 and 18. So meaning they are going to find all the factors of 12 and all the factors of 18. Thereafter, we ask them to select the common number which can go in 12 and 18 without leaving a remainder. They give us that number. Then we ask them for a name. At this stage, the children do not know that we are learning highest common factor. So maybe they will say the biggest number which goes in 12 and 18. Then, after exploration, the teacher has to allow the pupils to now present their findings from the exploration, because exploration is usually in groups. So we are saying the teacher's role here may be, so this explanation may be teacher-led or pupil-led. In whichever way it is conducted, the pupil's explanation must come first. The teacher's work here is to refine the pupil's explanations and findings. How do you refine? You ask them guiding questions, you ask them probing questions to make them explain more or polish up their ideas. You also encourage discussion amongst the pupils. After they have finished, the teacher now introduces the key terms to use. For instance, we explain now the idea of factors and highest common factor. Example, a teacher may explain as follows. The factors of a number are all numbers that divide evenly into it without leaving a remainder. 1 is a factor of every number, and every number is a factor of itself. For instance, factors of 12 are, we list the factors of 12. Factors of 18 are, we list the factors of 18. Then from there, we spot which is the biggest number which went into 12 and 18. It was 6. Therefore, this 6 is the highest common factor or greatest common divisor. Next, we go to elaboration. Here, we give a question which will enable the learners to apply the knowledge they have gained from exploration and explanation stage. So they will use that knowledge to solve now this new scenario, question, or problem. So the teacher's role is to help pupils make sense of the concept, refine their understanding of the concept, expand thinking, apply knowledge from explanation to everyday life. For example, we can give a question. Mulenga has 60 seeds of maize and 72 seeds of okra. He wants to make identical packets to sell with no seeds left. What is the greatest number of identical packets Mulenga can make using all the seeds? Identical packets meaning equal packets. So since there is the idea of equality there, it means we should look for the factors of 60 and 72 Thereafter, we look for the highest common factor, which if you have seen there, we have found it to be what? 12. So that 12 is the greatest number of identical packets that Mlenga can make from 60 seeds and 72 what? Seeds of okra. At evaluate stage, the teacher should ask reflective questions. That is at the end. Can give quizzes, debate, homework, or individual work. The aim of this stage is to determine the pupil's progress. Assessment items must reflect specific what? Competences. Thereafter, the teacher has to decide whether to give remedial or to move to the next lesson. Example, a teacher may give, find the highest common factor of 24 and 60, then give a scenario. Question 2, a teacher has 120 pencils and 150 lasers. If she wants to distribute them in 2 identical packages with the same number of pencils and lasers, in which and the lasers, what is the maximum number of identical packets she can make? In answering this question, the second question, the pupils will apply the idea of highest common factor. In conclusion, the teacher should not discard the learner's answers quickly, whether long or light. Each answer a child gives should be subjected to discussion. What do you think? Others also give their opinion. Then a teacher can cement the idea after it has been debated upon. What are we saying? We are saying learning should be a process in which pupils struggle. So the teacher's role is to give guiding questions that assist pupils to think instead of giving them what? Answers. If you provide answers or explanation too quickly, it means you are robbing your pupils the opportunity to think. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for today. Please subscribe. Don't miss the next presentation on an actual 5E lesson plan or competence-based lesson plan on highest common factor and lowest common multiple. Thank you.